Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Like to talk to you today about how big is Yahushua? How big is Yahushua? Is he able to create novas and supernovas and to create stars? How big is he? Let's look at the earth. Hebrews 1:2 says, by whom, meaning Yahushua, he, Yahuwah, the Father, Abanawa, made the worlds. The heavens declare the glory of Yah. It declares Yah's glory. The earth shows his handiwork. Looking at the size of the earth compared to Venus, compared to Mars and Mercury and Pluto, is Yahushua, Yahushai big enough to control and sustain all of this? And let's look at the other larger planets. Look at the earth at the bottom left compared to Neptune or Saturn or even the giant Jupiter. Ephesians 3:9, Yahuwah created all things by Yahushua. How great you are, Yahushai. The earth, the other planets, this solar system. Is Yahushua that big? Is he that big? And let's look at the sun, the center of our solar system, that sends out its flares throughout the whole solar system. And when it gets to the end, those flares are still burning. Is Yahushua that big? Look at the size of the sun compared to Jupiter and the size of the earth that looks like a little pinpoint. Is Yahushua, Yahushai, that big? Psalms 138 verse 2, it says he magnified his word above his name. It was by his word that he created the stars. Genesis 1:16, he made the stars also. How big is Yahushua? Look at our sun on the far left and look at these giant suns. This larger one here on the far right could take up the orbit all the way to Jupiter in our solar system. Is Yahushua that big to control all of this? Is he that big? Looking at even larger suns, Ephesians 15:14 through 15, it says, by whom I bow my knees to the Father, Yahuwah, and to his Son, Yahushua HaMashiach, of whom the whole family in heaven and earth is named. But look at this giant star that we saw a few minutes ago on the bottom left, and look at this huge one on the top right, even bigger, and our sun seems like a pinpoint in our life-sustaining clear atmosphere that allows us to view so many things. Every knee should bow, every tongue should confess to Yahushua. The sun and its relative distance from the earth, moon, and the sun and the moon. How our sun gives us energy and light, how the moon helps the temperature, the tilt of the earth, and our water levels, and it gives us such a beautiful eclipse. It didn't have to be like that, but it's like that. Why are we able to see so much in the heavens? And the location, our location in our galaxy. Why are we able to see so much? Philippians 3:10-11. Every knee shall bow, every tongue must confess. Right there between two spirals in the edge of our galaxy, our sun is located, which gives us a perfect platform to see Yah's heavens, to see not only our galaxy, but other galaxies, other clusters and superclusters. It didn't have to be like that, but he made it like that for us. Proverbs 30 and verse 4. What is his name and his son's name, if I can tell? Does Yahushua, Yahushai, protect his name? Does he? Or is he weak and beggarly, impotent, that we have to carry his name? Or can he protect his name to stop someone from changing his name to Zeus? Does he have that much power? Does he care that much about his name? Ephesians 2:14 through 15. Sometimes read Ephesians 2. We have been made one. What two would twain would he make one? Israel and the church. True Hebrew Israelites and true believers in Yahushua. What connection have Hebrew Israelites with Gentile believers? Yahushua is the connection. It vexes my spirit to see Hebrew Israelites put down true Christians, for we are to be one. Also looking at Leviticus 23:15 through 21. The two leavened cakes that was waved on Pentecost, they were leavened, not unleavened. As the wave shep offering, you had the omer of barley that was raised that represented Yahushua's resurrection. On Pentecost, On Pentecost, two resurrections, Israel and the church. One to a physical resurrection, and after that, the church to a spiritual resurrection, which some of us Hebrew Israelites, being messianic, will also take place in that great resurrection. Psalm 68 verse 4, extol him by his name Yah. And when we say hallelujah, we're saying praise to Yah. All the pagan gods have a name. Yahushua, Yah, has a name. Who alone has the power to save? Yahuwah is our salvation. Shua. These people will not use Yahuwah's name because they're not his true people, and they cannot use it. They cannot use it. They cannot possess the land that he was given to them from the Euphrates to the Nile. They can't possess it because it's not theirs. It was predicted that they would come into the land in Genesis 9:27. And Yahuwah shall enlarge Japhet, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. Enlarge does not mean to make rich. It means to deceive, to allure, to entice. On 2014-2015, in the spring, on the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, according to the Crescent calendar, the moon will turn red that night. Also in the fall of 2014, on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, according to the Crescent calendar, the moon will turn red that night. 2015, on the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, according to the Crescent calendar, the moon will turn red that night. 2015, in the fall, on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, the moon will turn red that night, according to the Crescent calendar. This happens every 19-year cycle. It happened 1957, 58, happens 1976, 77, happens 1995, 96, and it happened again in 2014, 2015. Is Yahushua that big? And let's look at one more thing. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Can Yahushua control this? Let's look at a cell. It has a purpose. It has mobility. It eats. It even, as you see, makes decisions. A cell. Looking into the cell, the works of a cell can be seen better with computer animation. As we go into the cell using the technology of computer animation, we see how the cell is split and divided. DNA is split and divided and duplicated. Amino acids are filled in just to the right place, the right shape, and they're turned into proteins. And they're put like in an incubator to be shaped into the size that they need to go to. And then they're charged and sent into the body. Can Yahushua control this? What about his name? Why they call him Jesus? Well, we know there was no Y in the Hebrew alphabet, no J, in the Hebrew alphabet. It should have been a Y. And the E came in from the Jews not wanting the Yah sound in his name at all. So it should be saying Yashus. But the S was added by the Greeks because it kept it from being feminine. Yashu, and then add the A back at the end, Yeshua. Is it that easy? You see, the Greeks wanted the sound of Yahushua in Greek. I.e. in Greek is pronounced as a Y. Yeshua would have been feminine in the Greek language, so they had to add S to it, Yeshus, to make it male. In Greek, females' name ended in A. Most males' names ended in S. There was no Hell Zeus. That is an urban legend. It's real, Israel. Let's get real. Yahushua is big enough to take care of his name, and he would never let anyone defame his name by changing it to the name of a pagan deity. You have to believe that. You have to believe that. He cares about his name. Again, in the Greek, Yeshua would have been feminine. Yeshuas, male. Yeshus, i.e. pronounced as Y in the Greek. The A was changed to an S. Thank you so much for watching our presentation, Hebrew Israelites in Arkansas. Go to our website, www.HebrewIsraelitesinArkansas.com. Thank you.